Keynes, candidate for Nevis 1 St. Paul's Parish. Dr. Patricia Bartlette, candidate for Nevis 2 St. John's Parish. Rohan Isles, candidate for Nevis 3 St. George's Parish. Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, candidate for Nevis 4 St. James's Parish. Honorable Cleon Stilberton Simmons, parliamentary representative for Nevis 5 St. Thomas's Parish.
We are the Progress Party. Yes, the people them party. We are the Progress Party. NRP. Oh yeah, me see the truck roll out. Yes, the truck roll out. Me see the truck roll out. And everyone a celebrate. So me wheel and me turn. Juke and me jump up in the air and hold up me hand. Step on your shoes, me tell you excuse. Cause NRP celebration. Yes, we moving up. Yes, we moving up there. We moving up. NRP them up. We are the people them party. You know the Progress Party. Wave the flag them know. Cause we moving up. NRP. Progress we say now. Remember you know. Everything that we build. And we're still gonna build and more. We are for the poor. We are for the rich, the middle class, for everybody. One unity, one love. Cause we moving up. Yes, we moving up. Yes, we moving up. NRP them never. I say we tired. Oh Lord, people tired. We want a change, we tired. Oh yo. I say we tired, and we tired, and we tired, and we tired, and we can't take it again. Rush. I'm on, we tired, and we tired, and we tired, and we tired, and we can't take it again. So we moving forward. Forward, forward, move the country. Forward, 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 with NRP. Forward, 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 how we go away. Forward, forward, forward. Too long, it's lies and mama guys. Too long, empty promises in we eyes. Too long, you ignoring the people cries. Too long. All your days since 2013, and you don't do nothing. Only when election time coming, that's when poor people don't get something. From all that bitch and passport you selling, them actions they telling. All you feel like never since begging. It's time to call out that one.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin tonight's public meeting, but we are going to start with a word of prayer. So I'm going to ask Mr. Morris Tyrrell to come
Hello,
forward.
Nevis. This is Evangelist.
Yes, we are going to ask Mr. Morris Tyrrell to come forward and lead us in a word of prayer.
Thank you very much and good evening. Almighty God, we ask your presence among us this evening as we start this campaign to lead our island on the right footing. I lift up before you all our candidates, Lord, our esteemed leader, Janice Daniel Hodge, our deputy leader, Cleon Stapleton Simmons, Dr. Bartlette, J.D. Keynes, and Rowan Isles. Lord, I ask that you would inspire them, rid them of self, dear God, and may they look to you for guidance and leadership. May they produce the direction that our island badly needs. And in the end, dear Father, may all the praise, the honor be yours. May we all give you thanks. As I say amen and have a good night. Bye-bye.
We want to thank Mr. Morris Tyrrell for leading us in a word of prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, people of Brown Hill, we are here. The NRP train has come home to Brown Hill. And we know that the people of Brown Hill will deliver for us. Brown Hill, we are bringing to you this time around one of your very own. And not just one of your own because she resides and grew up in Brown Hill, but because her DNA, her footprint is all over this community. She has contributed significantly to the development of our area, to the development of your area. And so that is why we believe that she is the most fitting candidate to represent you in Nevis number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, I want those of you who are here to draw closer. Draw closer. For those who attended our General Council meeting earlier, I told you that I'm not 100%, so I'm going to have to feed off of your energy. So draw closer, because we want everyone in their homes to hear us tonight. We want everyone in their homes to leave with the message that on December 12th, the only way to cast your vote is for the Nevis Reformation Party. People of Brown Hill, believe it or not, you've been taken for granted. Many of you in constituency number 2 have been taken for granted. It is only when it's time for an election that people remember how valuable you are. It is only when it's time for an election that people recognize that you are their brother or their sister. And so they come to look for you. But that is not the case with Dr. Patricia Bartlette. It is Dr. Patricia Bartlette that has been leading positive change in this constituency, and she wasn't always a political candidate. When you talk about a selfless woman, you are talking about Dr. Patricia Bartlette. Dr. Bartlette is not concerned with the glitz and the glamour. She's not concerned with taking a photo after every event or every time she makes a donation, because she's doing it from her heart. That is why we call her the doc with the right prescription. And so, ladies and gentlemen, tonight our candidates will speak to you. And you will get an opportunity to hear from the lady of the night, your candidate in Dr. Bartlette. But before she comes forward, you will hear from her team why we think that she is the best choice. So I want you to join me in welcoming, to address you first, the leader of the Nevis Reformation Party, the lady who is going to make history, the lady who is going to make history as the first female premier. Make some noise for Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge.
Nevis first. Nevis first. Hey. Janice the full of people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority. Janice shine bright to the never did.
Good night. Good night, everybody. I'm not hearing you. I know I'm in Brown Hill tonight. And I know Brown Hill people can make a lot of noise. So I'm going to say again, good night, everybody. Brown Hill, St. John's constituency. People in St. John's have a really great opportunity to soar and to reach to the heights that you have never reached before. Because not only do you have a great representative in Dr. Patricia Bartlette, but yours truly have a love for Brown Hill, because I grew up in this constituency. And I can remember going to school with Dr. Bartlette and her siblings and my good neighbors, Curti and Heskett and Bookie, and all of these guys here in Brown Hill. And so, you know, when you grow old, you would not depart from what you knew. And so I say to the people in Brown Hill, you have a great representative in Dr. Patricia Bartlette. You have a great leader in yours truly. And the people of Brown Hill and St. John's, I am saying this is a golden opportunity. This is an opportunity like never before for the people of St. John's and the people of Nevis to be represented, and let your voices be heard. So why are we here? Why are we here tonight? Do you think that the country is running good? Do you think the country is running good? If the country was running good, we would not be here. People like Dr. Bartlette, very compassionate person, a person who understands and stands up for what is right and what is wrong. And so when people would say, they took a decision before, and now they take a different decision. Well, guess what? If a man can change their mind, a woman can change her mind as well. And the thing about it is, when we recognize that things are not going the way that they ought to, we don't just sit back and fuss. We get up and we do something about it. And so, I am saying to you, you are going to be represented like you have never been represented before. Dr. Patricia Bartlette is no accident that she's a candidate in St. John's constituency. It's no accident. Because you see, they thought that some people were unbeatable, invincible, and look at how Dr. Bartlette have them now. Look at how she have them now. And I am telling you, she is the right candidate at the right time to ensure that the people of Nevis can get the change that we deserve. It is high time. Change must come. Because when we look at what is happening, so many job opportunities lost. Right here in Brown Hill Communications, gone. And you know the bad thing about it is that the Premier said it's a business decision. He can't do anything about it. Well, we know that when you have development and when you have companies coming here, before they get here, they sit and they negotiate. And you would give them concessions because you understand, and your representatives should understand, that they're coming here and they're getting concessions so that they can create employment for our people. And so when things are not going too good for them and they decide to leave, you need representatives who are going to say, it is not that easy. Our people need work. And when they leave, how long has Brown Hill Communications been there? Been there, neglected. Neglected. You mean to say all of the trips all over the world could find millions and millions in passports. So many new countries for passports, but not one project to bring to the people of Nevis. And not one project to replace a business that closed. And so we are saying, we need representation because people must understand that without jobs, the economy is going to be dead. And without jobs, our people are going to suffer and they're going to struggle. And we say, when the priority of your representative is not right, the people would not be treated right. The people would not be treated right. And I am saying we have seen enough of the self-serving. We have seen enough of ministers filling their own pockets. We have seen enough neglect. We have seen enough disrespect of our women. We have seen enough of a government that does not care. And we say change must come because the people of Nevis deserve better. The people of Nevis deserve better. Now I say to you, when we look at where Nevis was in the 70s, in the 80s, early 90s, doing good, doing so good that people from St. Kitts used to come over to Nevis to work. Look at where we are now. And we must say, if you sit in government year after year and do not do anything to diversify the economy, eventually what you have is going to die. It is going to die. And so what we need right now is a government that understands, not just understands the need for diversification, but understands how to diversify the economy. We must understand what is required. And you know, someone said to me, you know, I hear you all call them copycat machine. And I hear you say, y'all don't want to put out your ideas too quick because they're going to steal them. And the person said to me, but you know it's true. You know it's true. Only after I start hearing you all talking about need to provide daycare services for single mothers, they start talking about it. Only after we start talking about the need to provide after-school program. But the thing is, I said, they've been in government for all this time and they did not do it. So why now feel you're going to come and tell the people the same thing and expect that they're going to believe you? Not this time. Not this time. Nobody is going to believe them this time. But you know what? Having an idea is one thing, and they could try to copy it. But the problem that we're having is that they copy the ideas. They don't really understand. And so they fumble the projects. They fumble the projects. They cannot carry them through to completion. How many incomplete projects do we see here in Nevis? And the most heartbreaking, our hospital. Our people continue to struggle. As we say, have to bang water to go to St. Kitts. And when we look at the equipment that was already here and allowed to be destroyed, we must say, this, not this time. When we look at what has been happening here in Nevis, project after project cannot be completed. Just this week, we hear about the waste of money with the geothermal project. We must say, if each time you start a project, you have to stop and start and stop and start, what happens? You're wasting money. You're wasting money. And here we have the geothermal project, a well that was just dug recently. And now that well has to be abandoned. But you know why that well has to be abandoned? You know why? Because when you rush to do things to win an election, when you rush to do things, you do not take the time to plan to make sure that you can get your projects done right. And so we say, look at the road over at St. James's now. A road that they took a loan to construct. Well, all this time they didn't know that the Bank of Nevis was there and they could get a loan. And so now in the wet season, in the rainy season, they're digging up and fixing a road. You do not try to fix roads like that in the rainy season. And so we say, when they start these projects and they cannot finish them, we have problems. But you know, all of the projects that we see now, the Mondo track without the stadium, the water taxi facility without a waiting area, the hospital that is not completed. When you look at all of these projects, I am saying you must vote for NRP if these projects are to be completed. You must. You must. We cannot continue. We cannot continue to take the chance because they're going to get into government. Look at the road over Bath that was started for the last election. Started for the last election, but still not completed. And we are saying, no, not this time. You cannot fool the people of Nevis again. You cannot fool the people of Nevis again. We understand. When NRP was in government, you see any incomplete projects? Huh? Look at the size of NEPAC. Beautifully constructed facility, completed. Look at all of the community centers, the health center, all completed. And the unfortunate thing is, the purpose for which NRP provided those facilities, the community centers, have been gone to waste. Because our children do not have the opportunity to exercise, to have the after-school homework program, which is one of the main reasons why those community centers were constructed. And we are saying, it is time. NRP had the idea with these community centers. It is time for NRP to get back into government so that we could execute our program. And under NRP, we have indicated the laptop program must come back. And what we understand now, the children are so much more advanced with technology. But you have teachers. And so you provide laptops to the children. The teachers should be provided with laptops as well. How are you going to ask a teacher to teach a child how to use a laptop and the teacher herself or himself does not have the access to the same equipment that they're using? And so under NRP, we said we provided laptops to the students before. Under NRP, we will provide laptops to the students and the teachers. You see, it's about caring. It's about understanding. And it's about how can you help others? Because we see the struggles of our single mothers. And we know that the after-school program provided a big help for the parents, provided a great help for them. And so we are saying we must put those community centers to work once again. We understand that the early childhood care facilities, it is not adequate. We do not have sufficient spaces. And so what you find is a lot of mothers having to take their children by a friend, by a cousin, by an aunt, by a grandmother. And we are saying when that person is sick, what happens to the child? The mother must then stay at home with the child and miss a day at work. And we're saying these are the things you need to have as a part of government. These are the things that you must have as institutions where you can use abandoned houses, so many that we have. Use them as daycare facilities. Provide employment for people to work in these facilities to look after our children. And when we do that, our children, the early years when they need the nurturing, imagine how better our societies are going to be because they do not have to be around a struggling mother. How are we going to deal with you? How are we going to feed you? And so these are the things we are saying. Understanding, all it takes is care to say, these are the things that we are going to do to benefit someone else, not ourselves. And that is one of the major differences between the NRP and the CCM. We must take decisions that would benefit others. Now, this is a time when we understand. You go to school, and so many of our students are at home without work. And we're saying when we look at the natural resources that we have, when we look at the way that you can create employment opportunities without having to depend on the external sources of investment. Because we see under the social programs that were here, the young men were left unto themselves. No guidance, no opportunities for them to learn skills and to grow. And so when you have young men who are interested in landscaping, You put them to work with landscapers so that they can learn and grow. And when you have young men who are interested in mechanics, or those who are interested in being a bartender, you don't just have them sit there, no use for them, could not care less how they're going to be advancing themselves. These are not the things that NRP would do. NRP understands the importance of skills training, of empowering our people. And these are the things that we must do in government. And when we look at our community programs, these programs where you have people coming together because they have a similar interest, those programs, those community groups must be empowered by government to do the things that they need to do in order to build a community. And so we are saying community programs must be empowered. Everything must not be under government. And so I'm saying to you, under NRP, these are the things that we understand and that we must build. Now, my colleagues tease me sometimes because I said, when we look at all of the mangoes and all of the fruits that go to waste here in Nevis, for as long as the CCM government has been in place, they cannot come up with an idea as to how we can convert these fruits that are going to waste into employment opportunities for our youths. Cannot come up with those ideas. And so we are saying that we need to develop a mango industry here. We need to develop a mango industry where everybody who has a mango tree in their yard can bring their mangoes to this facility and get paid for those mangoes. And we process those mangoes into the various products, your mango wine, your mango cake, your mango bread, your mango jam. But guess what? It is bigger because, you know, someone from the other side said, but where you go with that? We don't got a mango processing thing over there by Prospect. You need to think outside the box. You must create an industry. You must understand how this is going to fit into your tourism product. You must understand these things. It is not just about having two mangoes and making products. Understand, when you have this mango orchard, this mango facility, and you have tourists coming in, and they want to go to some place that is unique, some place where they're not going to be able to get the products that they get here. These are the things that we want to do. But you know, we're not just doing it because we want to have these attractions for the tourists. We're doing it because this is a way to create jobs for our people. Because you will have people working. One of my colleagues said, but Janice, the mango trees them ain't over in St. James's. I said, well, guess what? The mangoes can't walk, so somebody's going to have a job to go around and collect mangoes from these different places. Somebody's going to have a job to do that. And this is why I'm telling you, it's just a matter of thinking and caring for you to come up with the ideas that can create employment opportunities for people. And when we talk about the mango industry, people say, oh, well, that's just that. Now imagine, within that industry, you have your marketing department, your accounting department, your packaging department, all of these different departments. And so, when those on the other side say we already have a mango processing over at Prospect, I say yes. But we have to provide jobs for our people. And that is how, one way that we can do it. I'm going to tell you briefly, because we speak about natural resources. And I'm going to tell you briefly about maybe two. Now, when we look at our guts and the roadsides, and we see them being cleaned, but then the plastic bottles and all the garbage stays there. We need to be able to develop an island beautification program. An island beautification program where we take pride. We take pride in our island. And so we clean the guts. We clean the roadsides. Create jobs for people when we go to our beaches. Do you see any nice groomed shade trees where you can sit? Any nice benches and picnic tables? These are things that create jobs for people. And we beautify our island at the same time. And so when we speak about natural resources and what we want to do, it is all centered around our people and creating jobs for them. And so every beach in Nevis would have people assigned to them to make sure that these beaches can be kept clean. Kept clean. And you know what? There are many people who like those types of jobs. Now, we know over at Indian Castle, there's a big problem with sargassum. And the fishers over in that area struggle. The number of days that they can go to fish is so much less because sometimes the sargassum is so thick, they cannot go out. Now, if we speak about food security and we want to improve the livelihoods of our fishers, where is the opportunity to hire someone to go there to make sure that the fishers can go in and out? Where is the opportunity to say, look at what Barbados is doing with their sargassum, converting it into biofuel? And if it is that we cannot develop the facility here, we negotiate with Barbados. Say, you have sargassum, we have sargassum, we can ship it there to you. And so when our containers come, rather than going back empty, we capitalize on the things that we can do. And so I say to you, when we look at the ways in which we can provide job opportunities, utilizing our natural resources, the opportunities are many. The opportunities are many. But we must understand what is required. The last thing I'm going to touch on has to do with our marine environment. Our marine environment and all of the plastic bottles that end up in the ocean. When we look at our marine environment, where our fishers get their livelihoods from, and nothing is done to ensure that all of these plastic bottles that we see on the roadside do not enter in the ocean, again, here's another job opportunity. Because we have a landfill. We have a landfill and we're going out of space. It's outgrowing the space that we have. We must have programs in place that is going to minimize the amount of waste that you have going there. And so when we look at what can be done with these plastic bottles, again to create job opportunities, again to protect our environment, and to understand it is all about providing work for our people. Because you know what? Some may look at plastic bottles, some may look at tires and feel that it is garbage. But it just takes a little bit to understand that by protecting our environment from these wastes, so many people can be employed. So many people can be employed. And so, the last thing that I'm going to say to you, as we look at our natural environment, as we look at the marine resources that we have, even the terrestrial resources, we must understand that we have some biodiversity here that is found no place else in the world. And so when we can afford for people to come here and do research, take the information back and we do not benefit from it, we can do our research here. And so all of our students who have interest in environment and science, they can do the research here. And when the schools, whether they're in the UK or in the USA, and they're doing those same programs and they want to have an internship program, then their students come here. And guess what? When their students come here, our students go there. Because this is an environment that we have. These are the natural resources that we have. And you must understand how we can leverage these resources. So much I can speak about, but it's not my night tonight. It's not my night tonight. But I would say to you that the good Dr. Patricia Bartlette, whom I've known since going to Prospect School, whom I've known to be somebody who is committed, and somebody who I know once they set out to do something, they would get it done. And one who I know would not be deterred by any obstacles. And when we understand that we have a vision And our party understands where we are going together. I don't have to speak about everything. My good colleagues can speak about their areas of expertise. But we have a framework and we have an understanding. And each one understands how we contribute to that overall puzzle. And so what is needed is compassion. What is needed is a vision. What is needed is people who are competent. What is needed is hard working people. And when the good people of Nevis say, Janice cares, Janice truly cares, that is the only way that Nevis is going to be nice again. And so to all of you I say, look at our candidates. Look at the number 1, J.D. Keynes. J.D. Keynes. You listened to J.D. last night? Did you listen to J.D. last night? Boy, listen, I am so glad that J.D.'s on my side. I would be scared right now. I would be scared right now. So in number 1, we know that J.D. is going to Parliament. J.D. is going to Parliament in number 1. And when we go up to number 3, the masculine man, they call him, the man with a plan, Gingerland. Gingerland has never seen the ideas and the plans. Because you know what? When we have an idea or a plan, we sit down and we discuss it. No one person feel like they're going to know everything and mash up everything. And so the plans that Rohan has for Gingerland, never been seen before. And Rohan wants the people of Gingerland understand that this is their defining moment to change the face of Gingerland. They would understand that Rohan is part of a great team. And together, as part of this great NRP team, Gingerland is going to turn green. We move over to number 5. The great queen, who they're trying. But you know when you're trying and you just keep fumbling. We know that St. Thomas's number 5, the good Cleon Stapleton Simmons, is going back to Parliament. Great Cleon Stapleton. Now, over in my area, I hear people say some people look like they act like a bull in a china shop. They mash up, they root up anything they want, they get it done. Well, I know there are some walls that have broken some bulls' horns before. And as small as I may look, no bull going to push me down. They're not going to push me down. I'm going to back them back. Not me. Not this time. So number 4. Get ready. No bull going to push down this lady. Here. And I want to tell you, the people in St. James's, for the first time, they're going to understand what it is to have a representative who cares, what it is to have a representative that stands up, what it is to have a representative that does not run and hide because they don't want to help the people, and what it is to have a representative that when you hire them, they don't have to take it to court to pay for their bills. Can't hire people and then they have to take it to court. So what I am saying to you, over in number 4, over in number 4, look out, because this young lady here, yours truly, is going to make number 4 St. James's. St. James's is going to see a new era rushing in with the premiere. The first time the people of St. James have a premiere, it will be on December 13th. And when we come over here, I left it for last, I left it for last. Because I know the good Dr. Bartlette, the prescription and the injection that some people feeling right now, the prescription and the injection, they can't handle it. Never seen nothing like that before. Never seen a woman stand up to them like that before. Never did. And like I said, Dr. Bartlette is not here by accident. The good Lord up above knows that we needed somebody like Dr. Bartlette to take on the people who just want to show their socks and the people who just want to be all flamboyant and all this stuff, but can't deliver, can't do any work. Look at the work that Dr. Bartlette has done in this community before getting into government, and look at the work that they have done in government. It pays. And so, my good people, all that I'm going to say to you, on December 12th, you know that you have an excellent team in the Nevis Reformation Party. And on December 12th, come out early. Come out early. Come out early. We cannot take this one for granted. Can't take it for granted. So on December 12th, you come out early and you vote. You come out early and you vote. And on December 13th, when the green truck starts up, I want everybody, long time, change must come. This is the time. This is your time. We're going to do it. Because this is our time. I say to you, change must come. Good night, everybody. Good night.
Nevis first. Hey. John is the follow people. She's a good leader. Protect your pride and lose character. Nevis our first priority.
If King Miko were here, King Miko would say, Modo. Ladies and gentlemen, did you feel the energy of our party leader? Listen, if they were never afraid before, they have every reason to be scared now, because the NRP train is rolling and we're rolling heavy. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I am feeling the wind of change. And I believe that the people of Nevis are feeling the wind of change. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to now invite another candidate on the NRP's ticket. And let me tell you, no disrespect to anyone on the other side or anywhere, but the Nevis Reformation Party has presented the best ticket this time around. When you talk about diversity, when you talk about competence, when you talk about a history of community involvement and community service, you are talking about the Nevis Reformation Party. And so, all of you here in Brown Hill, I want you to make some noise. Make some noise and help me welcome to the stage the man with the plan, none other than Rohan Michael Iles.
Now you ring down there. Sister, I'm a dead. Sister, ring down there. We put the queen instead. Now you ring down there. Sister, I'm a dead.
Good night, good night, good night. Bono, good night. NRP, good night. It has got to be in Brown Hill. I want to start by saying good night to my family, the Sadlers, and to the Bartlettes. Yes, I am related to Dr. Patricia Bartlette. And it is good to be here to support the doc with the right prescription. The doc is about to commence surgery here in St. John's. Brown Hill, get ready. She's about to revive this entire community. I have come to support the doc because I am comfortable with the doc's message. And I am confident in the doc's ability to deliver. The doc is committed to the people not here just in Brown Hill or in St. John's, but to the people in Nevis. She has always had at the heart of our movement the reduction of poverty. And if you have listened to her in her house to house and in her campaign on the platform, it is evident that she wants the best for all of us. I want to divert a little before I get into the meat of the matter, because I want to tell you, the carbon copy machine strikes again. You're going to get it. The carbon copy machine was in Rollins last night. And the carbon copy machine declared that I, Rohan Michael Iles, stole their ideas in 2022. Me. Very much so. And if I stole from the carbon copy machine, then I stole nothing, because they have nothing to offer. I have never gone on a platform and claimed any of the ideas brought to Gingerland. I've always said to Gingerlanders, these are a reflection of the things that you would have shared with me.
That's right.
So if you call in me thief, you're calling them thief. And I want Gingerland to understand that. If it's I thief, he ideas is saying, you thief his ideas. But you know that ain't true. Because you tell me you don't see him. So I don't know we get that say. But Zion are coming next week, and we got enough more things to talk about when I get in Zion. Because you see, for some reason, they felt that the delivery in Rollins was already plans. And that's how the thing go. So right into the base trap he walk. So when I reach Rollins and I start to ask about plans, let them say, at the month too. How do you tell people that you had plans since 2017? 5 years on, your plans in cabinet sitting down? Ginger, and I told you already, CCM doesn't like you. For your plans to stay in cabinet for 5 years, while they run around and boast about how they do this here and they do this there. Gingerland, my friends, I have said to you before, and I'll say it again, there will be no prosperity in Nevis in the next round unless it comes through Gingerland. Come back to St. John's, because there is something very important I want to share with you. In the last decade, or in the last 20 years, the global world or the global environment has gone to a place where we are uplifting the most vulnerable among us. And the underlying themes of the movement of the global environment is women, children, and the vulnerable. Women, children, and the vulnerable. The rest of the world has done its very best to uplift women in the professional sphere, in the sporting world, and in community development. Yet, on an island that is looking to emerge as a developing island, we are disrespecting the people who dare to challenge us in the name of politics. We have got to do much better than that. Much better is expected of us, especially as men, because we are supposed to be allies and partners in the upliftment of women, children, and the vulnerable. You can't seek to make mockery of trailblazers. You can't seek to make mockery of professional people. You can't seek to make mockery of anybody seeking to lead an island. When you use your position of power to seek to denigrate anybody, to use it to cast a bad light on somebody else, what message are you sending to the nation's children? How could you want to lead an island where young people look up to and emulate their leaders when your position is one to disrespect? Nations, I want you to understand that the hallmark of any leader, the hallmark of any leadership anywhere, has always been and will always be respect. And where you fail to respect irrespective of the political party you support, there is no place for you. St. John's, I want to tell you, there is no place for him. It is time for him to enter the checkout lounge of his political career. Men as allies in the empowerment of women, elevating women's position, appreciating and improving working conditions, and setting women on pedestals that are there for them to be recognized. In 2004, the United Nations Commission on the Study of Women stated, and I'm going to read, men must take joint responsibility for women, with women for the promotion of gender equity. Men must take joint responsibility with women for the promotion of gender equity. You know why I read that? Because if Dr. Bartlette has said that he can only relate to pen, paper, and book, we would have been up and down saying Dr. Bartlette feminine or feminist and had no call to do so and so. But I want to show you how out of touch the carbon copy machine is. It takes a gift from God to to be able to relate to our fellow citizens. I want you to hear me. It is a particular gift. Not everybody could talk to animals. Not everybody could understand their pain. So when you try to disrespect the doc, the real doc, the doc who has earned a doctorate, remember this. She is gifted. And St. John's, you want a gifted representative. One who understands your plight. One who commands your attention and respect. It is time for the doc with the right prescription. The doc done got on she gown, she gloves, her surgical tools are ready. All she's asking for is for you to open the operating theater, let her in, for her to begin the work of restoring the goodness of St. John's.
Better days are coming, coming, change your ways. Don't let this moment pass you by and let.
I want you to understand that this NRP is about delivering for you. Our record proves that we have always delivered for the people. You can go back to the 1970s when we suffered one of the greatest maritime tragedies of all times. It was Sir Simeon Daniel who said things must change. It was Sir Simeon Daniel who afforded divisions the opportunity to own land. It was Simeon Daniel who opened financial services to you. It was Simeon Daniel who opened education to you. It was Simeon Daniel who restored the peace, the progress, and the prosperity of our people. We went forward into the early 2000s. Hurricane Omar came. The world financial crisis came. Who else came? J.W. Perry came. The NRP came. And before the great Barack Obama spoke about the stimulus package, it was J.W. Perry who said, my people must work. Again, NRP restored peace, progress, and prosperity to its people. Our track record is in the very DNA of the island you live in. We come forward to 2022 and we face a dual crisis. The crisis of a global pandemic which none of us had anything to do with. And we face the crisis of an inept government at work. My friends and family, well-wishers and parishioners and St. John's, hear me and hear me clearly. The current situation you're in will not be resolved under the carbon copy machine. It will take a new kind of Daniel, a brand new NRP to restore your peace, your progress, and your prosperity.
It's been a long time coming, but I know change won't come. Oh, yes, it will.
In the last campaign, I can remember vividly, with a stoic face, they said, are you better off than you were before? The cost of living is killing the people. Caller, do you have electricity? These were the things being peddled. In this time in 2022, the cost of living is out of the reach of many of us. Many of us are struggling. And struggling upon the struggling we are doing. You know, they have removed the fuel surcharge. And that was as a result of the NRP's pressure. It was the NRP's pressure. Let me tell you something. You see all the things going on around here? NRP pressure. You see they run go mash up the government? NRP pressure. You know why? Because for years they have run political campaigns against the NRP. Never funny visions. NRP this and NRP that. No plans, no progress, nothing. But here you know, tell them find something to hang on Pat. Can't find it. Tell them find something to hang on Janice. Can't find it. Tell them find something to hang on Cleon. Can't find it. Tell them find something to hang on Jerry. Can't find it. I got bow me head. Tell them see if they could hang something upon me neck. Nothing there. You know why? Because we green and we clean. The NRP government would have never, ever sat in a federal government, agreed to a 10% increase for you. Get the money, and I want you to understand. The money came.
Yes, it come.
Every red or orange cent came. And they took half of it.
Yeah.
Do something with it.
Do something with it. Yes. Do something with it.
And then do what they have done best. Play on your emotions.
Yes.
And say they're going to give you 15 over 3 years. Tell them I say.
Them get 15.
The 15 they're planning to pay. John is paying it. Divisions, I want you to hear me. The increments that you are owed, John is paying it. You see all them unfinished, unstarted projects, because we understand governance is continuous. We're finishing them. Once they are of benefit to our people, we are going to finish them. This ain't a Dolly House thing. We ain't come to political platforms to talk rubbish. They say we like to cuss. Give me a mic, I can cuss all day, all night, because when I talk plans, policies, peace and progress. Our people must be elevated. Your 10% is your 10%. What is worst? What is worst? They take the 10 from Bastia and the 5 from Nevis. So they get 15 and you get 5.
How that work? I done work it out.
They're not done, you know. And I want you to understand, when the double came, when you should have gotten a double on 10%, you got it on 5%. They got double on 15%. And they went home merry and happy. And then want to ask you to vote for them again. It is time for you to tell them you are out of favors.
Look.
You have done everything for them except get water from the moon. Tell them you're not going there. Tell them wherever water upon the moon can stand the moon, you have given them enough. There has been no return on your investment.
None whatsoever.
Dr. Bartlette, they're giving you your stage just now. There has been no return on your investment. How? For 10 years, you have invested and invested and invested and invested. You have said, okay, next year. You say, all right, they're going to get it finished. You say, Lord, they're going to get them fair share. Well, how much more excuses you going to make for them? Now this guy and his carbon copy machine ran a federal election on the platform of fair share. We can't do this. We can't do that because we're not getting a fair share. And you know, if you had gotten the fair share, these things would have been finished. You know, but don't worry, I mean, the pier is there. You don't have a proper welcome, facility, but the boats can dock. And don't worry about them on the track. The track is there. That is what is important. The children can run on it. Hey, when I used to them, I ask them if they build a house without a roof. Ask them if they don't drive the car without gas. So why is it you're supposed to be half functional when they're running rampant in this country without concern? Our country, our island needs a change. Your representative, Dr. Patricia Bartlette, is a part of that change. I want to round out on two things. Yesterday I spoke about how they were telling the non-nationals, our Caribbean brothers and sisters, who we always welcome here. And once you are abiding by the laws of St. Christopher and Nevis and contributing to our social safety nets, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. This nonsense about people deporting you don't work, sir. We have immigration laws. We just can't up and send you out. You have got to break the law. And like anywhere in the world, if we were to go to Jamaica and we broke the law, deported. If we went to Guyana and we broke the law, deported. If we go to America and we break the law, deported. Well, what in the hell wrong with us? We special, sir, that we are not supposed to be able to protect our own people? Tell them we say, if you want to live here free and fair, play by our rules and you will be clear. It was the NRP who reduced the work permit for the nationals. It was the CCM who took it back up, called amnesty, and brought it down to where we had it and say, here is a gift for you. It was the NRP who allowed our Caribbean brothers and sisters to enjoy the same level of service at our health centers and our hospitals. You don't pay anything different to us. I spoke to a good friend of mine from Trinidad and he said, listen, Nevis is a special place. Because that couldn't happen in Trinidad. You would have to pay an extra because you are not contributing or you're not from here. But that is how we are as Nevisians. Loving, compassionate. Understand that it was the NRP who granted our Caribbean brothers and sisters the opportunity to go to school in public schools without having to pay. It is the NRP who granted you opportunity to own homes. So many of you are crying out that for 14, 20 plus years you have been here. And every time you ask this government, you get the runaround. Yes. We are coming. Yeah. We are coming. Deliverance from those kind of things is coming. The NRP is about to restore your peace and your progress and your prosperity because we believe we are all one. Hey, listen me. There are many of you, our Caribbean brothers and sisters, who can't get a residence stamp in your passport. You can't get it. Why? Because the government says you have to come with a ton load of money to get it. I want you to remember that it was the NRP led by Joseph Walker Parry that said, listen, once you found a job, you're getting this stamp. It wouldn't cost you anything. It is time for you to go out in your numbers and to restore NRP so we can elevate you and this blessed land you have called your own. It is important that you vote. It is critically important that you vote, and I want to talk to my friends in New York. I understand that you love me. I love you too, and I will love you more if you tell your friends and your family to ask a question about what is going on at home. Don't be blinded by the cosmetics you see going on now. Don't be fooled by those things. Ask people how they are living. Ask them how they are surviving. You will get a real understanding of the struggle people are going through. Middle-income earners are living like low-income owners. Well, what are low-income owners living as? How is the poor surviving? Too many of us are living help me lives. Help me or I will not survive. That isn't the Nevis for us. That isn't the Nevis we know. That isn't the place we have come to appreciate as a place that has produced some of the best and the brightest in the world. It is time to put our people to work for us again so that our economic standing can increase and our people can live comfortably. We are the NRP. We are the party of the peace and the progress. Can you imagine for a moment that every year in excess of 150 young people leave school and have left school in the last 3 years, and the burying ground got more activity than them? Nothing to do. What is worse than that is that recognizing that you have no employment for them, you have not done anything to create an interest in building the economy. That is why the NRP has a small business incubator program that is going to light a path onto prosperity for you. That if you want to start your own business, that is available. You didn't do anything to help them to get a job. And rather than saying to them, listen, jobs are tight, but don't waste your years. Come go university. And if you don't want to go physically, we're going to sponsor you here home too, because you could do it online. We have got to get to a place where elevating our people is our priority. That is what you elect people to do. I said it before and I'll say it again. It is only one thing that is critically important to you as humans, and that is your experience between your entrance and your exit. You know nothing of your entrance. You can't tell anybody of your exit. It is what you experience in between that matters most. And as a result of that, you have to, you must with certainty elect Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, Dr. Patricia Bartlette, Cleon Stapleton Simmons, J.D. Keynes, Ginger, and a coming, because you need me to represent you.
It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come.
As I have ended every night since we started, I come to you as a young man from a quiet village in Barnscott, driven by a mother's love, who implanted a promise, a dream. That dream has brought forth hope. It is that hope that I want to use to inspire you. It is that hope that I want to channel to you. That if you believe that there is better out there for you, the Nevis Reformation Party is the party to deliver. On December 12th, my friends, the ground must be more powerful than the air. I want you to go out in mighty numbers, that those in the air will have no choice but to vote with you. And so at 6 o'clock, get up, get ready, mark your index finger, and vote for the Nevis Reformation Party. Your prosperity is coming, and we are set to deliver. And so, my friends, if you voted for the NRP in the past, and you decided to give The other guys are try. I understand. But it is time for you to come home. Home is where you belong. We want you back home. I know there are many of you here in St. John's who, like many of us, believed in the dark. But the inability to walk beyond the dark has caused us much pain. I have figured the problem. For too long, they have been on the mark, never set, never ready, never go. If you voted CCM for a long time, listen friends, I am not angry with you. We are not angry with you. You had reasons too. But I know you're suffering. This tent, this umbrella is big enough. It is warm enough. It is loving enough. There is enough on this land that you love for all of us to get some. If you have voted for NRP all your life, thank you. We appreciate you and continue to support us. Families, I have an unyielding passion and love for you because I understand what it is to be responsible for those who can't take care of themselves. I know what it is to look into the begging and beckoning eyes of young children and sometimes having difficulties explaining why we can't. We want you to be in a position to never have to say you can't. You and I, we are the protectors of our children's present and the guardians of their future. Brown Hill, I love you. I am Rohan Michael Isles. I'll see you again next time. Good night and God bless.
Stop the music, we want to enjoy ourselves. Listen, right? Y'all don't even know how I vex that my voice is giving me some trouble. Man, I vex. How was Rohan? Listen, Rohan was so good. Rohan was so good. I almost forgot that I was a political candidate and nearly reached on the table. Listen, people of Gingerland, if that doesn't make you wake up, I don't know what will. Gingerlanders, it is time to wake up. It is time to recognize that you deserve more. And all we are saying, if you give Rohan an opportunity to be your representative and he fails you, you don't have to give him another chance. But we are asking you, we are pleading with you to give Rohan a chance on Monday, December 12th. I tell her you already, you know, the wind of change is blowing to this place. Before Rohan came and I heard my party's leader, and we know her to be a brilliant lady but quiet. And when I heard her tonight, I said, me monkey Janice get where? I said, me monkey Janice get where? And she could tell you I don't ever call her Janice, eh? I always call her Dr. Danielle. But I was just so blown away tonight. And then Rohan came and put the icing on the cake. And you are going to tell me that those on the other side not scared? People of Brown Hill, I know you guys to be very proud people. I know you to be very proud people because I spent much of my childhood in Brown Hill, particularly just a little bit up the hill by the Browns. That is where I spent many afternoons. And so I know you to be very proud people. You like to see your people doing well. You like to see your people excelling. And I am saying, we are bringing one of your own. Don't let nobody fool you. She is one of your own. She is the only one. She is the only one on the ticket for this area that is one of your own. And we are bringing one of your own to you. Because we believe, correction, we know that she is going to deliver. Gingerland, we went, I put it simply, we imported a man for you because who you had, who is one of your own, has failed you. So we said, well, if they're inside and they're not perform, let's go outside and bring one for you. And I am asking the good people of Gingerland, I am asking you to give Rohan a chance. Give Rohan a chance. Rohan is a former teacher. Rohan is a sports enthusiast. Rohan is a community man and a family man. Give him a chance. Then, by the way, we want to apologize for the Honorable Cleone Stapleton Simmons, who really tried to be here tonight, but she couldn't. She has an emergency that she's taking care of, and so we are just asking you to please forgive her tonight, but she really couldn't be here. Mommy duty calls. Ladies and gentlemen, but I know she will want me to represent her well, and so I am asking the good people of St. Thomas's, I am asking the good people of St. Thomas's to come out in your numbers and re-elect Cleone Stapleton Simmons. As far as I see in St. Thomas's, there is only one person on the ticket. One person who is suited for the job of being your parliamentary representative. It is no disrespect to anyone, but we're talking facts. And Cleone has proven that she can deliver. She did so much in opposition. Imagine what she can do in government. And then I present myself to you. But you know, I don't have to make too much noise tonight because the people of Charlestown have already said that they want Gates, and the Gates will come with Jane Gates. And so now, I want all the energy as you help me to bring on the lady of the night. I want all the energy as you help me to bring on the lady of the night. The first trained veterinarian, an entrepreneur, a community woman, a family woman, a caring woman, and the next representative for St. John. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the doc with the right prescription, none other than Dr. Patricia Bartlette.
I am still here. You see, when they can't control you, when they cannot manipulate you, they try to smear you. They try to intimidate you, and they try to destroy you. They disrespect. They disrespect respectable people in this society, and we stay quiet. But Brown Hill, I have come to tell you that this is not who we are. I'm just reminding you, that's not how Brown Hill people are. As a matter of fact, that's not how Nevis people are. Irrespective of our differences, we must learn to respect each other. I was born and raised right here in Brown Hill. So I cherish and I respect my villagers. Many of whom they're either family, they're either friend, or they're neighbors. Mind you, you're gonna always find somebody who don't like you. But they're few and far between. Anyone who knows Brown Hill people would know how competitive we are. We're very competitive. Right, Judy? We believe that we can compete with almost anybody and win. And over the years, we have done just that. Over the years, Brown Hill people, we win them in sports. Well, let me tell you, we have some families over here, like the Walwins, the Brown Hill, the Bartlettes, the Thompsons. Brown Hill having some sporting families. If I ain't call yours, Judy, I know yours is one too. But if I ain't call them, it's because we don't have a lot of time tonight to call everybody. We have won queen shows. You know how many queens we done come out of Brown Hill? Competition. Just this year, there you go. We have won calypso shows. People who know about zero. I too young to know about zero. Zero from Brown Hill. Competition. Bingy, Astro, Chevy, and we have some more. Talk about horse racing. I know about Brem. I know about Sharp. When them boys on the track, it's competition. You name it. And we have done it, we have competed. But you know what? We have always won because we played by the rules. We don't have any problems with playing by the rules. Because when you win, you can enjoy it. When you win, you win. When we lose, mind you, Brown Hill people get a little sulky when we lose. But when we win, we are jubilant people. We just go that everybody know Brown Hill win again. We have not always won. Like I said, we have not always won. But we know how to take a beat. So, you know what? So, I have a problem. Rather, we have a problem. We have a representative who, putting aside the fact that he wasn't really born in Brown Hill, we can put that fact aside. We accepted him into our fold. Notwithstanding that he never served on any kind of community organization and all the rest of that. When he came up and said, do this one for Malcolm, Nevis people accepted that. He talked good, we gonna give him a chance. Brown Hill people accepted that. Well, he spent some formative years here, so we gonna give him a chance. But what? Notwithstanding all of that, the boy got to a stage where the arrogance, man! You're telling me you're going to be cussing somebody like Christine, who live next door, who when you were going to school, Christine will carry you to school, Christine look after you, make sure you get scholarship, and you're going to cuss Christine in the name of politics? You're going to look at somebody like me,
been serving my community from since I 10 years old. Serve as everything and anything. Clean street, walk ground hill, clean up garbage. Did everything for my community. And this boy gonna come now and disrespect somebody like me. Now, well, he tried. Because what I have to say is this. You can only be effective in making me feel bad if I value your opinion. I don't value his opinion. I don't value his opinion. You see, when I heard about what he would have said, using government time and money, we paid for it, you know. That crap that he let out of his mouth was during government time on our money being broadcast internationally. And I was like, what could have gotten into my dear cousin? He like to say I'm his cousin. I am indeed his cousin. But me not have nobody as in my cousin behave, so. We are a humble people. We are a humble people. Pressure. You're right, it's the pressure. But I can't apologize for that because we gave him an opportunity to perform. And what he do? What did he do with the opportunity that he got? Huh? You can't cost your way out of the projects them. You cost your way to get into government, but when you get in there, you must perform. So to all the people who have been calling me, I hear you, and everybody want me to respond to him. But I said to you, that is just a distraction. It is just a distraction, so we would not focus on the issues for which they have no answers. No answers to the basic issues that they are facing right here in the country. So many of us struggling. We get into that. We get into that. You're right, Judy. Now do that in Brown Hill, and we're gonna get to show exactly what he has not done in Brown Hill. So let us not take on the distraction, because once you take on the distraction, you're not going to focus on the 500 million that we've been asking him about all the time, and he wouldn't give us the answer. Let him give us an answer about the 500 million that came from last year. And while he's at it, let him tell us what he did with the taxes, over $1.7 billion of taxes that he collected from me and you, and just spent it. Poof, it's gone. And to compound the matter, we in a level of debt in Nevis that they are sitting on, don't want to disclose the true debt because they're afraid that you wouldn't put them back in there. So they want to sit down and all that mess, and they're moving. But we're going to move them. Come December 12th, we're going to move them. We must clean up this mess. So the distraction is for us not to focus on the Alexandria Hospital. Eh? They know that we live here and we could see. They take pictures of the outside, all painted up in the wrong color. Because I mean, a man there, he start wrong with the wrong design. And he end bad with the wrong color. They can't get nothing right. Spend $19 million already in the hospital and we still can't use it. Still not in a position to use it. And those are the questions that he don't want to answer. But when he come, ask him about them. He may not answer to me, but he had to answer to you because I would never vote for him again. So all the foolishness that they put in, sending around. Today I saw a video with me, starring me. No, they're paying MSR for all kind of things. And they ain't paying me, but they have me featured. So they have video about me going around saying that I go vote for him. No, seriously. And they are trying to push that kind of garbage on sensible people. Sensible people like you.
You understand.
We are 97% literate and they expect people to believe them. that Patricia Bartlette would vote for Mark Brantley again. I'm not supposed to call his name, but I have to. Eh? Tilala now, you're right. On the strength of what? What has he done? When we ask the question, what has he done? Why doesn't he answer? I have looked around, and Judy said that he ain't do nothing. I have looked around to see what impact, whatever policies, whatever scant policies that they would have had over this last 5 years, to see what kind of impact it had on us, on our society, in terms of our development, in terms of us being able to make sure that the children went to school and were well fed, and so they learned, in terms of the health care that we deserve and we can't get, we still have to go overseas for. I'm looking for the impact, but I'm not seeing anything. What they have delivered is, well, that is just right. Is that what they have delivered, and nothing equates to the same thing? They have not delivered anything. So on December 12th, we have to make them answer those questions. And I can't wait, because we have a lot of work to do. People are struggling, people are hurting, and we need to get about the business of restoring Nevis to a place where all of us could live comfortably. I say all of us need to be able to live comfortable. Not just some. Not just some. All of us deserve to live comfortably in Nevis. Yeah? Well, let him make the comments. I'm glad that he's in tune to us, because guess what? Nobody has studied them. Nobody has listened to them. But since they want something to put in the brochure, I can give them something now. Because we have plans for the restoration of Nevis. So tell him I said, listen closely. Because in St. John's, we have some initiatives that should transform St. John's. So, to the good gentleman who is listening, tell him I say that the NRP is going to upgrade the Ivor Walters Primary School. The Ivor Walters Primary School, my alma mater, deserves better than 2 drop shed that they put on over there. 2 drop shed. You pass over there and you look like some low-income housing. No disrespect to the ones that we have here, not ours, but it is not fit to have our children going to school in those kind of conditions. When I went to school, the building is the same now that was almost 50 years now. So what I'm saying is, we're going to get about the business of making sure that the facilities that kids have to go into is an environment that is conducive for learning. So while he only gave us 2 drop shed in 15 years of representation, within our first 5 years, trust me, Ivor Walters Primary School is going to be upgraded. The homework assistance program that they thought was not necessary, even though the kids needed it, we're going to reintroduce that. We are going to make sure that the kids going to school get free meals. And by the way, this is not just for Ivor Walters Primary. This is for the whole of St. John's. Once you have children in St. John's, you're getting free school meals. You see, one day a teacher said to me, could you all do something? At least try to sponsor a child. And she was relating this experience to me, that she witnessed a child in the line, and the child apparently, the fees were not paid for the lunch, and the child was taken out of the line. A child hungry shows up in a line for food and is turned away. Now that should never happen. Not when we spend so much money on foolishness. So we have to make sure we prioritize the things that we do with the scarce resources that are available to us. And one of the things that must take priority is that we must offer school meals to our kids for free. Now in Bath, they have a peculiar situation in that the kids have to walk all the way from Bath to Charlestown to go to school, to Croddacourt, all the way to Croddacourt, almost to St. Thomas's, because Croddacourt and St. Thomas is right down the borderline. So we are we are committing to providing school bus services for those kids over to take them there. The student one-to-one laptop program, and I've been advised by the younger people in the party that we have to say smart devices. So we're going to make sure that the kids have one-to-one smart devices. And of course, we have said it before and we're going to say it again. One fully funded university student graduate from each family. That is our target. That is our target. Because too many of our people are poor. Too many of our people are poor. And every time I talk about poverty in St. John's, my good friend get blue under the collar. He gets blue under the collar because he ain't want people to know in the diaspora that under his leadership, poverty has risen from 21% to 31%. And the thing is, it's not that poverty has risen. It's not only that, but it's the response. Or let me rephrase that. It is the non-response. Imagine, people are struggling, and instead you give a helping hand. Whatever was meted out for them, you intercept it. So parents who thought they had a 10%, you work for government and you were getting a 10%. You only ended up your 5%. I mean, that should make all of you go vote against them. Because things hard. Things are hard. And instead of letting you get what is due to you, to cope with this environment of high inflation, every time you go to the supermarket, things going up. Every time you go to the supermarket, things going up. And you're getting a little thing, and they take that away from you. And tonight I am hearing that people in New York are getting $1,500 to come home to vote. Plane ticket and some place to stay. Now, where is the conscience? Those are the people you want to represent you? Those cannot be the people who could represent me for sure. And so, if that doesn't move you to get out of your house and vote, we have a problem. We're going to have a problem. Because they're coming in the droves. It means that if you want it bad enough, you got to come out. You cannot stay in your house and get the progress that you need. Early out, vote them out. Now, in the area of community development in St. John's, I am committed to upgrading the sporting facilities in Bath, Cherry Garden, Church Ground, Brown Hill, and from now on, wherever else that people think that they need an upgrading service. I haven't met any other place yet. But when I went to Bath one night, one afternoon, and dust caught me over there, I saw these young fellas out there playing basketball in the dark. They don't even have lights. The surface over there looked like Malcolm would have left it the same way. It needs an upgrade. Here, we have right down to the bottom of Brown Hill. It's bad enough that they ain't fix the road to go down there, mind you. But down to the bottom of Brown Hill, there's a cricket ground down there. I understand it's a beautiful ground. It's, nice surface and all. But the facilities, just not there. So you can't really invite nobody here. You can't invite nobody here. And all you need is an upgrade. So we can sort out the issues of change room and, seating and all them kind of things. So the thing is, these are things that are easy fixes. These are easy things to fix. How could you ignore the people of Brown Hill? You live here. How could you ignore them for 10 years? Well, 15. And there you go, 500 million. But you have to prioritize. You have to prioritize. When you have people money, you can't just spend it really like that. Well, that is true. He's not doing anything for us. So we recognize also that we have to institute a home care program for elderly. Not all elderly want to go to the home. They're not comfortable there. They would rather live the rest of their lives in the dignity of their own humble home. Let us facilitate them to do that. That is a doable thing. Why have we neglected our youths? Why have we now neglected our elderly? Who else we going to neglect? So, we have to make sure that these improvements that we are making benefit all of our people. Because people have different needs. I may not want housing, I may not want other things. But look at this. Music classes for our children. Just something as basic as that. We have some kids who, if you put an instrument in their hand, sometimes even intuitively, they know what to do. We need to be able to cultivate that. We have to be able to cultivate the softer skills in these children. Because not all of them want to be able to be accountants and bankers and all the rest of it. Or even a vet. And a lot of people want to be vets, eh? Now listen to him. A lot of people want to be vets. It's a sexy thing nowadays. Now, the Wi-Fi hotspots, we need to create some of those. I see there's a chap who would just pull up by this particular place because Wi-Fi is available. I don't know his circumstances at home. But I'm saying, in this level, or in this age of the level of technology that we're exposed to, we must empower our people. Not everybody going to be able to put in the Wi-Fi home because it's expensive, and sometimes they don't spend a lot of time home. So we must create these hotspots there you go. We have to create these spots wherever we have community centers. So that at least people know I can go here and get the service. And we should have community centers in all of the communities. Now, look at the community center here in Brown Hill. You guys been in the community center here in Brown Hill? It's probably the smallest community center. Well, maybe Bath, it rivals Bath. But everybody else have some lavish thing, some sprawl out thing. They could keep all kind of things in there. We got to go up some steps to a small little room like that. You stay over here and you show something to your partner right there. Now, you would think that we have the premier from Nevis, from Brown Hill. You would think that he would pay some little attention. Some little attention. So we know what happened. Judy, what happened? So tonight I want to apologize for whatever it is we would have done to you, Mr. Premier, for treating Brown Hill people so bad. Whatever the people of Bath would have done to you, for you to be treating him so bad. I want to just lay that on the record, because he has not treated us as if we are the people who have been propping him up. And so he's coming back again, and he has not delivered anything. Hasn't delivered anything. So as it relates to our community development program, we have to make sure that we have counseling services available at these community centers. I'm tired of going by community centers and I just see somebody just sitting there. Just sitting there. Nothing to do, no programs. And I'm saying that all people need counseling services. We went through a rough period of time with COVID. You had a lot of depressed people around here. I understand that the mental health challenges that people face sent a lot of people over the edge. And so we have more mental patients now than we had before COVID. What are we doing for these people? What are we doing? Basic counseling services, I want to commit to you, would be available. Financial counseling as well. People ought to be able to go and ask a question. You know how many people call me and ask me questions as to how to do this or how to do that, how to get a loan and all that. We need those basic services to be able to counsel people how to spend your money, how to budget, those kind of things. So I am committed to making sure that in St. John's, we offer that service. Then there's the issue nowadays. And I want to appeal to those who like to put their hand on women. We talk about domestic abuse. Now, my focus is not necessarily on domestic abuse per se, because we're going to have to create safe havens for our women and men if you have men who are being abused. But it seems to me like we have more women who are being abused than men. I've gotten calls in the dead of the night. I need to drop somebody someplace, because they want to get away from the toxic situation at home. We ought to have a place that women could feel safe. This is 2022. Everybody else in the world, I swear, got that. What's wrong with us? We deserve better. And this is one of the commitments that I made to all people. Now, as I go around St. John's, from Cox all the way down to Bath, I'm meeting so many young people who do not have jobs. And it has been something that's going on now for years. And nobody is trying to address that. And the kids are getting depressed. I went to a house and this little boy is like, okay, he hasn't even gone out of the house for a while because he was trying to find a job over 2 years now and he cannot find anything. And I'm saying we must get into the business of creating opportunities for our people. So when we talk about housing, that gives us the opportunity to construct affordable houses and at least provide employment for people in the area. We are hearing that the call center was closed since 2018. Nothing has been done. And you know what aggravates me most of all? And it really burned me to the core. When I heard someone say that they were trying to make connections, they were trying to have a conversation with this outgoing NIA, CCM NIA, about the reopening of the call center, and they just push them aside. Now, for the benefit of our people, I am committed to making sure that under NRP, we reopen that call center. We're talking about the possibility of over 150 people to be employed right there. We must open that community center, that call center, right here in Brown Hill, because our people deserve it. We must create jobs. It is a part of our duty to make sure that our people find work. Now, I've said that in Brown Hill, you can go through Brown Hill and you can beg somebody a sauce up or a sweet, what do you call it, sugar apple? All them things just growing while around. And we are not making sure that we can harvest these things and find a market for them. I'm saying, there you go, somebody had the concept right over there. We ought to create a niche market, particularly for soursop. One time somebody sent me a screenshot of a soursop that was being sold for $33 US, one soursop. So you see the potential is there. So we're saying that we're gonna establish soursop, coconut, and mutton production right here in St. John's to provide jobs for our people. I don't think them guys run from police anymore because police will drink more rum Hammond than, well, let me take that back. Let me take that back. But guys long time used to be running away from police because they're boiling little Hammond. We're saying this is 2022. There is a potential there for us to exploit, for us to be able to get into commercial production of the same thing that you're running around from the police with. Because other people are doing it, why not at least empower our people to get their level of production, to get the standard that is required for them to be able to do commercial production? And ship it out, you're right, we're not going to drink all. We can't drink all. So that I think, and the thing is, we have the skill set right here. Right here in Brown Hill, we have people who could produce Hammond. We have, there you go. One of the first chemists I knew was right here in Brown Hill. So we can get into commercial production and create jobs for our people. And of course, we get to the biggie, which is the commercial production of medical cannabis. I'm not talking about the cannabis, just a couple 5 trees that you got home. I'm talking about large-scale production that has the potential for us to generate jobs. Because it's not just about the growing, but all the activities surrounded with that. When you have to do the marketing, you're going to create jobs. When you have to do the transportation, you would create jobs. So there is hope for us to make sure that we can create jobs right here in St. John's. There you go. We're going to get into the contract farming as well. Now, as it relates to housing, I don't understand why bad people still vote for this man. How many houses has he built since he been our representative in Bath? Anybody here from Bath? How many houses he would have built over there? How many people here from Church Ground? How many houses he would have built in Church Ground? Nobody know about none. You see? So that is just the point. In a place where you have the highest level of poverty, in a place where there's an obvious need for an upgrade in the housing stock, and he has done nothing. Other places are getting houses. If you go to St. James, they have more houses over there than people. When this thing started and the minister over there keep boasting that this is a housing revolution that he's responsible for in his backyard, but not no other place. None in Rice's. But Ruhan will deal with that. But we in St. John's, what has the representative for St. John's done as it relates to providing affordable housing for our people in St. John's? Nothing. You can't tell me. I am not seeing it. It means that we must move him out of the way. If you want housing for St. John's on the 12th of December, what you gonna do? No, we deserve better. Our housing stock needs an upgrade right here in St. John's. So guess what? NRP is gonna do that. When you look at the housing down in Cherry Garden, NRP did that. I see them hustling to build a couple houses up at Chimney Crescent. Just a couple houses because it was close to election. They have on the paint on the outside. I don't know what inside look like. I can only guess that inside is not ready yet, just based on the kind of record that they have of showing you on the outside, like the hospital. There you go, Judy, shake she keys. Judy shaking she keys. Because NRP did that. Brought housing into Brown Hill, recognizing that the people in Brown Hill needed houses. That is how you represent people. You respond to their needs. You respond to their needs. And not every time they call you, you say, who that call me? They want something. And that is their MO. That is their MO. After December 12th, we don't have to worry about that anymore. You're going to have representatives who will answer the phone. But back to housing, we're going to do smart houses. Houses that could help you pay for them. So we are proposing that we're going to build smart houses right here in St. John's. So Church Ground, nobody waste your vote on them. They ain't bring you not even one house while they're representing you. I am committed to bringing more than 50 houses. For all the people in Church Ground, line up. Line up. We want to make sure, because people have different needs in housing. So we're not going to just give everybody a single house standing by itself. And then people could drive in the neighborhood and recognize, oh, she must be the poorest in the neighborhood because her house is the smallest. No. It doesn't make any sense to build a one room. That doesn't make no sense. We're going to build some apartment buildings. So that you have the young guy who, he reached 18, he started to work. He reached 20, he want to get out of the mother house. But he doesn't have the liquidity. He can't put down money on a house or a mortgage. So we're going to offer him the opportunity to have his own apartment and his own privacy. So the girlfriend and the mother don't have to be fighting for the switch to go in the bathroom at the same time because he has his own little thing to start. So those are the kind of initiatives that we have as it relates to housing in St. John's. Now, we're going to get to the roads and the infrastructure in St. John's. I thank them for finally getting to fixing Bowney Road, because at one time you used to be stumbling across the road because the road was real bad. So I give them a little credit for that. You can't say that they haven't done anything in the 30 years. They've done a little thing. But it is not good enough. It is not good enough, because if you divide the length of the road by the number of years that they're in power, it means that they're doing less than a 1 mile. They're doing less than 1 mile a year. They could do better. And in the meantime, while you're waiting for this road to finish, all the side roads bad. I just told you about the cricket field all the way at the end of Wilkerson Road. But to get down there, it's a challenge. It's the road bad. I talk about the road over in Logrong. And when I spoke about it, shortly thereafter, they went and they patched it up a little bit. So it's a little better, but it's still not in a good condition. What we have committed to in the NRP is to have a road maintenance program for all of the side roads, because people live there. People live there. You must respect people. And everybody paying taxes, and everybody have cars that they have to maintain. And by the way, Kibo, my shock still want changing. It's expensive to run a car on these kind of roads around here. It's not fair. And so, like I said, we are committed to making sure that we do that. Now, road signs. People come in Brownhill and all this, they're trying to find their way wrong and can't find their way wrong. You're going back to try to find your way and can't find your way wrong. We have to make sure. In Church Ground, the same thing. In Cox, the same thing. All over you go. No improvement with that. We need to make sure that we put signs where signs are needed. And every street needs a sign. And so we are committed to making sure that we provide signage for all the roads. And not only that, every house ought to have a number. If you have an emergency, you can't find the houses. The ambulance come all the way up by me, trying to find somebody all the way down Logrong. I was like, wasting time. We need to make sure that all these houses have numbers, so you can go straight and come straight. But I think one of the reasons why they probably didn't want to pursue something like that is because they won't be able to hide the voters that they bring in. Because they register, they're going to have a house number where they live. As it is now, they just say, they live Cherry Garden. Everybody live Cherry Garden now. Everybody live Bath. You can't find them. You know how many people you can't find on the list? But I'm telling you, whether it works in our favor or not, we're going to make sure that houses are numbered, because it is critical. We must have development that makes sense. Right now, we probably might have to do something about Cherry Garden, because I don't think it was probably numbered, but, we're going to have to sort that out as well. Now, water. Water is critical. Water is critical. Water is life. And as simple as it sounds, we do not produce enough water. I remember that they came around and they put down some pipes, some big pipes, but they have delivered very little water in the same pipe. Because when Bede was supposed to be busy drilling for water, them and Bede fall out, and since then we have bigger pipes and not enough water. But the demands for water have been increasing because people have hydroponics that they're doing now. Agriculture, you're going to need, if we're going to develop agriculture, we must have water. But as it is now, we are not necessarily using the kind of strategies that make sense. Because to dig deep and get water from wells costs you. But sometimes you drive to Cherry Garden and rain falling, and the amount of water on the road going down the road. We don't have, right? All these houses, we need to make sure that we be able to harvest the water collectively, store it, and use it for agriculture and other uses. And that is something that we are committed to. So when dry weather comes, you don't have as much stress on the system as we have now. Because one lady shared her experience that the water that she was getting dry weather, the water was looking so dark. She couldn't do anything with the water. I can't say where the woman was, but it was not in St. John's. But the point is, the lower you have to dig to get water, the more likely it is that you're going to end up with water that is not fit for purpose. So we have to make sure that we sort out that. The number of street lights, we need in St. John's to increase the number of street lights that is a safety issue that we must address. People can't even come out of their house at night, some places, because there's no light. And so we have to make sure that we address that. Now, the South Coastal Road, this is the biggie for us, because this is likely to transform the southern part of Nevis. We are proposing and we are committed to making sure that we could get this road from Bath all the way around to wherever Rohan would let us land it. Whether it is the Indian Castle on the river, we are committed to taking it around here and open up that wide expanse of land. That is the next frontier. That is the potential that we need to develop. And you know what? They would benefit too, because the Brand Hotel, the $120 million hotel, that the minister could go ahead and proceed with it now and provide some employment in the area. Now, we have only a few days for you to reach out and have any other discussion, because we have a lot of initiatives. Tonight, I gave you some brochures for the people in St. John's. And that captures basically all of the plans that we have for St. John's. However, if it does not reflect the interest that you have, we still have days. We still have some days before the election. But that doesn't mean that the discussion is going to stop. It's going to be ongoing. So when we take office on December 13th, when we take office on December 13th, well, I'm not hearing enough down here. Y'all not looking forward to it? Eh? When the green train comes rolling, they're not going to be driving. They're not going to be driving the green train. That would be D Day. D stands for deliverance. That would be the day we would be delivered from oppression. We would be delivered from the lying. We would be delivered from the cheating. We would be delivered from the corruption, the waste, the bullying, and all the other ills associated with this CCM NIA. We gotta get rid of them. And so you know what that means. In order for us to get there, in order for us to celebrate on the 13th, you've got some work to do. Every one of us here, we have work. We have our work cut out. I am not asking all of you to come out and follow me door to door. That would not be practical. But you have people in your family who you can reach. You have family overseas who need to understand the plight of the people in Nevis. They have been fed a bunch of lies. And the thing is, we have not been responding well enough. It's about time that those of us who are sleeping wake up. You've got work to do. You can't afford to sleep on the job. We are too close to it now. That's right. So when they bring the picture with the hospital well painted, share that with the picture of the inside. Share that. Do not let them flood the airwaves with their narrative, because you have a narrative as well. No time to sleep. Get up. Stand up. Stand up for your rights. They need to know that you can't follow me. If you work for government, you can't follow me in the village, even to show me where somebody lives, because they would victimize you. But by the same token, they have civil servants walking behind them with blue bag, blue shirt, blue hat. Your people in the diaspora, they need to know that. They need to know how your rights are being trampled on. So you have to share all that information with them. You have to share with them the full video. The foolishness they sent on today about me saying that I voted for the premier. Indeed, I said that, but show them the whole video. Show them that 2 seconds after that I said, but, they would never get to the but. All that is deception. And so you have to point it out for what it is. Because I said, and I have no water in my mouth when I say it, I voted for this man in 2017. And by 2018, I had buyer's remorse, and that is exactly what I said. And so tell them I say, when they come with the tape, roll the whole thing. But I made that point for you to understand that it is more than just the tape. It's about the deception. So all these things, it's a distraction too. But all these things is a pattern of the behavior of these people. They would lie to you in a minute. And my grandmother said, if they lie to you, they're going to thief from you. If they lie to you, they're going to thief from you. So that's why maybe we can't find the 500 millions and we're gone. Do not fall for it. So I have a message tonight for our people living in the diaspora. When you come here, understand that it is not like what you have been fed by the other side. Any story have two sides. And I would be very disappointed if you came here on the strength of one side and made a decision. Talk to the people on the ground. When you look at their meetings and the 3 people following them, that is not an accident. People are turned off. Even people who, if they went to the meeting, they probably would pay them to come. Nobody going. Because the visions have already turned their backs on them. So what I'm saying to my people in the diaspora, I'm appealing to you. Listen to the cries of our people. Our people have signaled that they want a change. Do not stand in the way of the change of the people who have to live with the conditions here on the ground. We deserve better. Where you're coming from, you have good health care. We don't have it here. Where you're coming from, you have good roads. We don't have them here. Where you're coming from, you have good education. We deserve better. And we are appealing to you, as my grandmother would say, with water in my eye. I beg you, please, when you come, do the right thing. They gave you a ticket. All of us have to pay for it. Take it. Come home. We welcome you home. We welcome you home. Even if you're wearing a blue shirt, make sure when you go inside the polling station, you vote for your people. You vote to release your people from the oppression, because it is not right. Country above self should always be our motto. But unfortunately, these people are not behaving like they even know what the motto is. So I say we have work to do. We have our counterparts who live here with us. We call them non-nationals. And they need to understand that I have no fight. NRP has no fight with the non-nationals. Nevis is underpopulated. We need them here. I interact with them. I have friends. I give them work. I eat their food. They sometimes eat mine. We have good relationship. I don't know of anybody here who is warring with any non-national. We embrace all non-nationals. We love you guys. So stop being fed or stop listening to the lies. Because these people, they're not going to stop at anything. They're going to keep lying because they think that it works. And you've been here long enough to know that they're lying. So if they lie to you and all the other things, trust me, they're lying to you on this one. Because I'm not saying that some people might not have been sent home. People always get sent home. Our people go to the USVI and they got issues, they send them home. We welcome them back home. It happens. That is how the world works. And I would apologize for anyone who might have been unfairly targeted and sent home, whether it is under CCM, NRP, MRM, whatever. But what we are saying is we have no beef with you. I don't have no beef with no non-national. Janice doesn't have any beef with any non-national. Cleone ain't got no beef with no non-national. Rohan does not have any beef with any non-national. And JD definitely doesn't have any beef with non-national. So stop listening to those people on the other side and come and help us get the kind of progress that we need. Help us effect the change that is necessary so you can start to realize your dreams and your aspirations right here. Because I know many of you would have invested in homes. You want to make sure that wherever you are is a comfortable place to be. And right now, Nevis is not a comfortable place to be. It's not for the children, because you see what they do to your children. You can't even take them to public schools. It's Tuesday, you have to go find a private school to enlist your child. Sometimes the fees are so high. It is a challenge. And we are saying in the Nevis Reformation Party that there's room for all. Big Rohan would have said to you tonight, the umbrella is wide enough. So we want to make sure that non-nationals understand that we have no problems with you. And so we are saying that your goals mirror our goals. We just want better for where we live. Simple. We just want a better standard of living. We just want to make jobs available to our kids in particular. We just want to make sure that all of us can live here. We want the best for everybody. So come December 12th, I want to make sure that we understand each other before we leave here tonight. All of you have a job to do, number one. Number two, on election day, get up early. Get up early. Go to the polls. Don't go work and say, we're going to come back later. And then later you get tangled up when you don't reach back in time. Walk with somebody when you're going to go to the polls if you can. Make sure that if they don't live in your area, you point them out. Try and shame them. Try and shame them. Draw attention to them. Because if they don't live in your area, then they don't have a stake in your area. It means that if bad come, you're going to get it and then go on elsewhere. Mark a man, that is what I used to say. So come December 12th, NRP people! NRP people! Remember, the NRP wants to take you in a new direction. A new direction. Right now, we seem like we're just in free fall. Everything a mash up, everything a closed down. We want to make sure that we change that. We have to change the dynamics, as they say, and make sure that we pursue peace, progress, and prosperity in Nevis. And now, you've been a good audience, and we love you. But it doesn't stop tonight. You see, tonight is just the start of a fresh week. So help where you can. JD voice not so good. So those of you who can shout on behalf of JD, start to do it. Right? When we have meetings, I need all of you to come back every night. That is not too much of a commitment to make. Come every night. We need the energy. It's soon over. It will soon be done. Your troubles and trials. When we get home on the other side, it'll soon be done. I need for you all to keep the faith. Spread the love. Spread the message of hope. There is hope. Things are bad now. We know things bad. But there is hope. Continue to pray. Continue to pray. Because we need that. We have a prayer warrior over here. And I still want to touch her. But we need to cover each other. When you go to bed, before you go to bed, you don't have to even kneel down because the Lord would understand. Pray. Pray for St. John's. Pray for Nevis. Pray for all of us because we need it. Pray for free and fair elections. Well, that doesn't take a lot of doing. We know what we're up against, but we need to come out in our numbers and make sure that we do it early. The people of St. George's, it was good to have you. Let me hear you. The people of St. James's, it was good to have you. Let me hear you. St. Thomas's, where you at? St. Paul's, where you? And my beloved St. John's, I love you. Good night. God bless. Get home safe. No, you ring down bell. Sister, your mother dead. Tell them. Sister, ring down bell. We want to queen instead. Things are nice again. No, you ring down bell. Sister, your mother dead. Queen. Sister, ring down bell. We want to queen instead. The man done a job.
Ladies and gentlemen, how do you feel about the representative or the next representative for this area? Before you go, I just want to let you know that tomorrow we will be at the party headquarters from 9. We will be at the party headquarters from 9. So those who want to participate in nomination day, meet us at NRP headquarters at 9. We are going to begin in St. Thomas's and then we will go clockwise. So St. Thomas, St. James, St. George, St. John, and we'll end in the capital of Charlestown. Immediately following the nomination in Charlestown, we will end with a rally in town. And so we are encouraging those of you who are able to. We know some of you will be working and we understand. But those of you who are able to, come and join us because we need your support. Listen, we just have one more week. It's 1 week to Deliverance Day. And I don't want you to fall asleep on us. I don't want you to fall asleep on us. People of NRP, let us work together. We are this close. Let us work together. Let us follow the Premier's advice and ignore the noise. Ignore his noise. Let us focus NRP because change must come. NRP people, so tomorrow after the meeting and the nomination, we will move over to St. James in Brick Hill in St. James rather, at Squeeze Up Bar. That is where our meeting will be. So please take note of that. Remember to bring your friends, your family members as we continue to support our candidates. For those who tuned in late, I told you that the Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons sends her apologies. Hopefully, she'll be up and running and ready to go tomorrow. Well, definitely, she'll be up and running and ready to go tomorrow. Continue to cover us and our families in your prayer because we need that, ladies and gentlemen. So as you get ready to go to your homes, I want you to get there safely. Please be careful. Take nothing for granted. And remember that change must come. But we cannot do it without you. Thank you and good night.
But change the show. NRP will transform this for you. Vote NRP.
Vote Labotea.
Let we make the country green, if you know what I mean. The country now a chant, go green, go green. I NRP the want, go green, go green. One king and four queen, go green, go green. Them respected and the clean, the green them team. The country now a chant, go green, go green. I NRP the want, go green, go green. One king and four queen, go green, go green. Come election day, the CC men gone in. The vex and the blue, let we change the show. NRP will transform